Members of the boys and girls choirs of Trinity Episcopal Church on the Green participate in a life-enriching, diverse musical experience.
They look like gummy worms. I was afraid someone might pick one up and eat it.
In addition to professional-level musical training, the choir members also experience a rich community life with their peers and with all the choir families.
It's how many choirs can fit on a couch.
The boys' choir has a tradition of spinning the door latch, which symbolizes leaving the everyday world behind and focusing on the musical work at hand. The musical training that the boys and girls receive builds self-confidence, enables them to grow their own unique musical talents, and empowers them for a lifetime of self-reliance. Beginning with the founding of the boys' choir at Trinity Church in 1885, there has been a continuous emphasis on the importance of children's singing. The girls' choir joined this tradition in 2003. Travel to cathedrals and churches, both in the United States and in England, gives the choir members the opportunity to explore their musical roots and to train with other young singers. And as they visit historic sites, the total experience brings the past and present together.
I think a lot of people misunderstand the word tradition. To a lot of people, tradition means old and stodgy. Well, that's not the case here at Trinity. Here at Trinity, we recognize that we are singing the same songs that have been sung for centuries. However, we sing them in our own unique way. Each choir sings them differently. So in a sense, we need to raise up tradition, because tradition is the cornerstone from which we build this choir.
Ladies, my name is Mr. Moore.
Each child that auditions for the choir is asked to match pitch patterns and sing Happy Birthday. The director also looks for the child's ability to focus on the task at hand. Once a child is accepted into the choir, she begins a process of learning both basic music theory and vocal technique. Each rehearsal begins with vocal exercises to assure that the voice does not tire and to improve both group and individual vocal tone. Lip trills, for example, are important in the development of breath control, which is the foundation of good vocal production.
You know, music education is very important to me, and I knew they would get a good experience here at Trinity. You know, the children gain so much knowledge commonly taught to college freshmen. As a music educator, my children's music education is important to me, and I knew coming into this that Trinity would offer them a great musical experience, but I really didn't know the extent of it. And just as an example, I asked, my second son was only a second grader when he began, and one day in the car on the way home, I asked him, actually it wasn't even coming home from a rehearsal, it was just in the car one day, I asked him what his favorite song was. He thought for a moment and he said, well, you know, Mom, it's a toss-up between Frosty the Snowman and the latent liturgical responses.
It did give her more confidence when she did decide to sing in her school choir. So the music teacher commented one time that Maya knew a lot of music and he was really impressed and wanted to know if she had private lessons. And I said, no, just Trinity Church.
There are occasional concerts where they sing sacred and secular music written for unison or divided soprano parts. More typically, the girls will sing the soprano part joined by adult choir members singing the lower parts. The adult altos, tenors, and basses with whom they sing each week at Trinity and in concerts act very much as musical mentors. The girls can therefore participate in singing great choral music written throughout the centuries for this typical voicing arrangement.
When we're singing, the moving of the music sometimes, as we do music, it could be solemn, but it could really have a meaning to me, and I could find that fun. Or when we sing these upbeat, happy songs, I find those fun too.
Aside from the excellent music training, I mean, I've played piano for 10 years now, so I had musical experience, but I gained things through the choir that I never would have gained otherwise. And it's helped me with my piano, it's helped me obviously with my singing, and it's a good feeling to be able to pick up a piece of music and read through it without very much trouble.
The choir develops leadership in each girl to the best of her own ability. There are also lead girls, who are appointed each year, that assist the adult leadership and serve as examples to the other girls. Each new girl is paired with an older girl who acts as her coach. She receives musical guidance and help in understanding the expectations and routines of the choir. The choir experience expands beyond the musical realm and encompasses the values of self-confidence and self-worth. Citizenship is emphasized as strongly as musicianship.
I have two children who've come through the choirs. My son was in 4 years, started as a 5th grader and ended at the end of his 8th grade year. And my daughter's currently in the choir now. The music has enabled her to really bloom, to grow in confidence. She has found community with the other girls and a real love for music that is growing in all different ways. She's now playing an instrument, has joined a youth orchestra, and has told me that she would love to start participating and maybe studying theater and drama when she gets older. She also has been greatly moved by the music, the complexity of the music, the beauty of the music, which is an experience I simply cannot buy for her anywhere else.
An important part of choir life is strengthening the communal ties within the extended choir family, as the girls, adult singers, and parents come to know each other. A valuable musical experience is enhanced by being part of a larger family. The girls often join other groups in presenting concerts to benefit charitable organizations. Using their musical skills to help others is an important lesson in sharing with their community. Each year begins with a week at choir camp, during which both musical skills and friendships are cultivated in a setting that provides relaxation and fun for the singers. While there are musical rehearsals in the morning and sung services to end many of the days, much of the time is spent in fellowship, taking advantage of the many activities provided by the camp. This is also an important time for new members of the choir who come for a portion of the week to meet their older choir sisters and to begin their musical journey.
Well, I love having fun with all the girls here in Trinity Girls Choir because everyone can always relate to each other in some way, and choir camp is really the way to get everyone more involved with each other, and there's also new people coming in, so then we get to learn their personalities and stuff, and choir camp I think is my most fun times.
The things that I remember most from my years in the choir would probably be England and choir camp, because it just like traveling with the group, like it's so much different from traveling with your family or on your own, because you get to like get so much closer with all your friends in the group, all your friends in the choir. Even you grow more strong in singing, or just you meet people that you probably never thought you'd ever encounter.
These girls who I grew up with in the choir, they are my family. They are my best friends to this day. I still see all of them. Whenever I'm home, I make a point of it to get together with these girls, because the friendships that you form in this choir, especially at choir camp and on choir tours, they last forever. And I grew up seeing my best friends 3 times a week and doing what I love with them. And we truly are a family. And though many of us have now graduated, we still remain close.
And if I could say from my viewpoint as a parent, there are, among the choir parents, I have my best friends.
When I think about choir, and last year I considered maybe not continuing in the choir because I was so busy. Then I sat down and thought about it, and I was like, there's no way I could ever leave the choir.
You can do a lot of things with your kids. There are courses and games and retreats and leadership seminars and all this stuff you do to get your kid into college. But minute for minute, hour for hour, the best time my kids ever spent, and I had 2 of them in the choir, was learning music with the choir. The education you get when you sing in that choir, not only does it last a lifetime, but it's at the highest level of both music appreciation, understanding, and performance. The standards are not everyone's a winner. The standards are who can sing the best and how can everybody sing better. And there are not too many things in this world that reward excellence with loving accessibility.
I think you could look to having like one of the greatest patch of years of your life here.
I think overall, Trinity Church and Trinity Choirs, both of the choirs, have given my 2 children confidence in the gift that God has given them, and confidence in their abilities to establish friendships, confidence to carry out a task and be part of the community, confidence in their abilities to sing, of course.
Knowing how to approach any kind of situation with self-confidence and with equanimity. They are remarkable in the fact that I can see them a year later after they've been in the choir for a year, and they're offering me a chair, they're offering me a book. They know how to sit at the table and have a conversation that's not just about them. So it's not just musical. It involves every aspect of their being. It makes them into fully formed, treasured people.